find out when you do call in. I would play a very long. Why I'm in a hurry today is because I've got about a 15 thereabout minutes recording from yesterday's banquet, and I want you to have a feel of the entire episode. So I want to quickly play that, but I want to also rush through my big stories. So that's the first one. I played the soundbite, for that big story. My second big story has got to do with the NLC. The NLC have come out to say, hey, we want an annual review to minimum wage. Oh, it looks like someone didn't understand what I said. The Labour, not NLC now, I beg your pardon. Labour, I think it was the TUC speaking in that situation. Labour is coming out to say they want an annual review. I think they kicked against the tax reform bill, saying, see, they have to edit that part on minimum wage. It has to be an annual review for minimum wage for civil servants. Now, some of you in Rivers State are enjoying 85,000 naira. It was as a result of that review. Now, according to that piece, the article I saw on one of the dailies, if I understood it very well, the Labour is arguing that inflation has made a nonsense out of the current increment that was done for civil servants, and he's saying, hey, let's do this annually, so as the inflation is going up, minimum wage should also be going up. So so I can read and give you a proper a proper perspective of what the conversation really is about from Labour. On Channels TV's website, inflation, Labour pushes for minimum wage increase in 2025. Labour said it is important that the minimum wage paid to workers in the country reflect a rise in inflation every year. Now, the organized Labour says it is pushing for an annual increase to the 70,000 naira minimum wage paid to workers in Nigeria. Labour said it is important that the minimum wage paid to workers reflect a rise in inflation every year. What we are pushing on for Labour is that instead of you, the government, waiting for 5 years to increase the minimum wage, you will now look at the inflation of the last 5 years and try to make some adjustments. Why can't we reflect the inflation on an annual basis? So now, what that means, of course, that's from the TUC boss, Festus Osifo. It was on Channels Television's Politics Today yesterday. Now, the question is in my head, if inflation drops, would Nigerians be willing to reduce their salaries? 85,000 naira once again in Rivers State as minimum wage. If inflation then inflation wouldn't decide on its own. Of course, government would have to put in the work. But you already know the goal for President Bola Tinubu's administration is to reduce it to 15% this year, which, by the way, you must have seen Rwane's statement, the economic expert. He said it's bullish and it is not achievable. I think that's how I understood it. However, that's the goal. So if it gets to 15% this year, will Nigerian civil servants willingly agree to negotiate with the government to reduce their salaries by half? Minimum wage, by the way. Anyways, what do I know? My second big story, that's my second. My third big story, I'm rushing, I'm trying to make good use of the time so I can go to the phone lines and get your thoughts. This here is all about you on Hard Facts. It's not about what I think or my presentation style. Is all about you, and I'm looking forward to having conversations with you, really. So I'm rushing to my third big story now, and my third big story has got to do with the education sector. So this morning I was going through our in-house bulletin, and this morning you must have heard the news, for those of you who've been listening since morning, that the Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Education, is looking at reintroducing history. Now, I remember before I joined this platform, I was on another platform here in Rivers State, and we would always talk about civil war, and we would talk about IPOB activities, and we'll talk about some other things. And I remember during those conversations, people would call in and say, hey, nobody knows. History is fading, they would say. They would argue that children these days do not understand history, and that's why the unity that we so much seek for is very shaky. It's very what's the word now? My vocabulary just failed me again. But basically, they're saying that the fact that the government removed history affected the unity of the country. And they keep saying, the politicians, the leaders keep saying, indivisible Nigeria, or it's not possible to divide Nigeria. But they forget the fact that there are certain things and factors that have to be in place to make the unity seamless. And so, do you agree with these people who used to argue with me at the time that the lack of history in classrooms at the primary and secondary school levels really did affect, to a large extent, the orientation, the patriotism? And remember, we talked about patriotism yesterday. So what are your thoughts? Because now they have decided to reintroduce history, so everybody will get to learn the history, pre-colonial times, colonial times, post-colonial times, pre-Civil War times, post-Civil War times, and how it has been in all of the civilian to military to civilian to military and now civilian. So what are your thoughts? We're going to learn all about, what transpired. And I hope it's not just, bits and pieces history. It's going to be a thorough historic class where there will be evidence, scholars will, different scholars and their theories. But what do you make of the move by the federal government to reintroduce history to classrooms? Do you think it's a welcome development? I'd like to hear from you. So these are my big stories. So just to read from our in-house bulletin, Minister of Education Tunji Alausa says President Bola Tinubu has approved reintroducing history as a mandatory. Now, that's the key word for me. Mandatory subject for primary and secondary school students effective 2025. He made this in a television interview. History was reportedly removed from Nigeria's basic school curriculum in 2007, attracting criticisms for years. So let's get your thoughts. So, as parents from different divides, are you welcoming such a move? Let's now go to the soundbite. I'll play a bit of it, and after that I do believe, I do not have a commercial, so I'm going to play a bit of it now, and I'm going to allow you make up your mind on what the governor said. He said a couple of things, family defend Rivers State from people who are trying to take Rivers State away from you and I. He said Rivers State is not for him, it's for everybody, and it's not about him. He wants to create a system that will make Rivers State work. He talked about nobody who call police first. I'm not going to tell you. Let's just go to the audio clip and take a listen, so you also get a feel a part of what happened or transpired at that state banquet. It's called the state banquet, remember, and you a part of the state. For some reason my network is crazy. All right, so the sound is coming through right now, and when it does, I want you to take a listen to what the government. I want you to listen carefully, because after this I would go straight to the phone lines. I don't think I want to explain any further, and I do believe that the other big stories, the second and the third, are also very relevant stories, talking about reintroducing history to classrooms, primary and secondary school levels, also talking about the annual review of minimum wage. What are your thoughts on that one? Some of you are very happy for 85,000. Take a listen to the
year of our Lord 2024 has been a very inventive year. It wasn't an easy year, but at the end, it was a great year for us. About this time last year, we were in a very not pleasant mood for fear of what might happen because of the boasting of those people who believe that they control life. Little did we know that, like they used to say, it is not the person who even goes to police that usually win case. I mean, when they start the investigation, the case might turn around. And our case was not different from that. Midway, God started showing himself. In fact, yesterday or this morning, I took a very special song. You know, every year I used to bring, before this time, I used to say, Jesus it used to be my inspirational song. But this year, I want to take this song as my inspirational song. In fact, the lyrics go this way, it goes this way. When God, who can say no when God has said yes? Who can say no when God has said yes? No matter the kind of power that you even feel you have on planet Earth, it is only his yes that stands. So we'll continue to put our trust in the yes of Jesus and God. Like I said, it has been a very wonderful year. We had our losses, we also had our gains. But the most important thing is our gains surpasses the losses. So we can only say that the year of our Lord 2024 was a good year for this state, and the year of our Lord again, 2025, with his strength, with his support, we are going to build on the gains of last year. We are going to make sure that we continue to protect the life of our people and provide the required services in our state. We are not going to lower our guard. Rather, we will put our tax higher. Because what is speaking for us today is the achievement that we are making in the face of destruction. So that will be our own way to tell the world that no matter what is happening here, that we mean well for the state and we know what we are doing. I know it's not going to be easy. You know, God also wants to keep evil people to live long so that they will continue their evil. Not that he doesn't know what to do, but the activities of the evil people also keeps the righteous people awake. Because if there is no evil, you will be doing prayer and fasting. So what is happening is we will continue with our prayer and fasting. Meaning that at the end of the day, when we have declared our own yes, our yes will continue to stand. So let me thank everyone, the big, the small, for your support last year. And also solicit for more support this year. We are not going to do it alone. We have not made these gains alone. Whatever win we have today, it is not myself. It is the government and the support we receive from every one of you. I can't pay you back. You're doing what is right for your state. It is our state. At the end of the day, it is our state. We are building a better future for those people that are going to take over after us. That is my own dream for the state. It's not about the power and what we do today, but sustaining a system that will be on its own, that every one of us can stand and be proud of, that will have a state. And I strongly believe that because of our desire that we want to build not our supermarket, not our hotel, not, you understand, but to give a state, there is no way we will not succeed, because our interest is not self, it's a collective interest of our people. But like I always say, we are not bothered about what they will come with, but God will always have a way to save us from them. They are going to come, but don't worry, we're equal to the task. I want to thank, honestly, don't allow me, it's my day, SSG has said its own, Ajaji has said its own, now allow me to say my own too. I want to thank specially, honestly speaking, these leaders here, from side of Topido Delay, Mayor, Senator Mbata, Sir Austin Akbar, Pastor of Praise Church Secondary, me, Abe Sekebo. I want to thank them. You know, a lot of you don't understand what is really happening. This is not to say that we didn't have people that were following us, fighting. But one of the trouble that they have where they are today, where is the face? They don't have any face there now. You know what I mean? The beginning and the end of politics in this state is South of Topido Delay. And if he's sitting with us here, dying was this night, and with these ones, my brother, what do they have there? Is it the elementary or which one? No, that is the truth. So this is the right face, the right image, the frontiers of River State. And when I look at this other side, who are they? Men and women that have distinguished themselves are sitting with us. It's not contract people that they bring to come and eat dinner. These are people who have contributed in several ways to make River State what it is. So this night, the first day of this year, I want to thank all of you. Continue to support us. We appreciate what you're doing for us. We cannot get there alone. If you have to get there strong, you have to support us and come all out. So let me thank you. And also assure you that this year is going to be a year of more achievement. By second week of February, we'll be embarking on commissioning of projects. This time around North Road, our fire services, you can see what we're doing there. For over how many years now? Over 8 years or 9 years. We don't have a functional fire service. But today, I can proudly tell you that we have bought all the vehicles, we are remodeling the offices. Let us also not pretend. Yes, there are a few things that they will say they did. The most important thing, which is education, who helps. Education is the only thing that can help us remove our youth from criminality and crime. we're behind. Go to our primary schools, they're shadows of themselves. We're following, you can see the provision we made in our budget. We will make sure that education is given that required attention in this year. The issue of health, you know what our achievement there, but we are not going to lower any standard, rather we are going to spend more, because you have to be alive to work. Even if you overwork, you also need the hospital to get yourself back so that you can continue. So health is also another area that we're giving all the attention. So I assure you that we are doing what we know is right. We're doing those things that you can stand anywhere after our administration and defend us that our decisions were right in our time. We also make sure that we protect the integrity of this state.
All right. You had it there for yourself. Not the words of God. I mean, I had to take my time. I didn't edit anything. You had the only thing I didn't play was when they sang. Right. So you had everything as it played out yesterday during the I mean, I didn't play it. I didn't play everything. Towards the end, but basically what I'm saying, it was not edited. Everything you've heard, it was how it happened. The governor said what he said, firmly defending the interest and the rights of Rivers State, saying he wants to build a Rivers State that will, surpass his time, his administration, that would leaving a legacy, and basically doing it for the interest of Rivers people. He talked about several other things, about the enemies of the state. Recurring conversation, I guess, the enemies of the state. What else did he? He sought your help. He asked for your help, and he said it's not going to be an easy ride. It's not going to be rosy, but he's ready for the task, and he's hoping. And then there's something, of course, he dabbled into politics a bit and said that the orderlies, the Imbatas, what are the names, the Sekibo, at the strong men of the politics in River State, that on the other side of the fence, those people are wannabes. Interesting what's happened in River State, I wouldn't lie. But let's now go to the phone lines. Enough of me. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. These are the call numbers. There is a different disposition to the governor. I don't know if I'm the one alone who has noticed it. Is ready to defend the interest of the state, whichever way. Let's get towards once again. And also, don't forget your two big stories. We've got NSC asking for an annual review, an annual upgrade minimum wage, given the annual inflation growth, usually. There's the introduction of history to primary and secondary schools. I'd like to get your thoughts. We're live on Facebook, Nigerian for PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigerian for PH. We are active on X, Nigerian for PH as well. And there is WhatsApp 0809 0306 I've got Chima. Chima is calling from Rumukuta. Chima, welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I heard the governor's speech, and I believe you also heard it. Also,
I played it.
Did you see the hatred in the governor's speech?
I did not. I did not see.
Yeah, one in the top trying to comprehend that one. I know one is with amnesty, but this one now I am seeing completely hatred.
I did not see hatred.
The governor is completely declaring some section of Rivers State as his enemy, proclaiming that there is war in Rivers State. Chima, let's not repeat yesterday. When you say the governor is what's he called, is championing hatred, I beg to differ. If there is, if it was you would say it's political strategy. I remember one time I asked that question and you said it was political strategy. So why are you calling it hatred now? If he is strategizing to beat up his what's it called now, political opponents, is that hatred or politics? I'm wondering. Help me.
Mr. Canada, you heard the president's own speech, his New Year's speech. You heard it.
Okay.
And if I am obliged, I'm going to play you other leaders' own speech.
Okay.
If we're going to leave that one as a note where we are, let us forget about that one now that I've said it. Now let us come. If the governor is telling you that he needs our help, at the same time he's telling you that he has the people that owns the state. What happened does he want? You have Odele, you called him the beginning and the end of River State politics. Imagine when you arrogate such power to a deity, to a human being. You understand? And that is where we are seeing where our problem actually is coming from.
Okay.
You know, we have been looking for the soil in River State. We didn't know we had it in, so we didn't know the line that lingered it. Now we have the government needs.
Okay.
Have been here, have not seen this problem and end.
All right.
The beginning end of political community. No point authority when the politics that begin to begin.
When Chima, let me throw that same question to you. When did you join politics to know the beginning and the end? Oh my!
Me, I have been in politics since 1999.
And you don't think he has been in politics ever since because he's a civil servant, right? Or was a civil servant? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he was a civil servant, and he said it explicitly when he was.
So does that mean he knows nothing because he was a civil servant? He knows nothing about politics. Anyway, Chima, I've got to go. I'm really sorry. I've got Triumphant from Port Harcourt. Triumphant, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yes, thank you so much, Canada. And this is the first time we are in touch. I don't think it's out of place to say Happy New Year to you.
You can say Happy New Year to 31st of January. Go ahead. What's on your mind, Triumphant?
Okay. You see, the Canada, if you blow your vision, you will not see what the governor of River State is doing. And also, it is very important for you to know that whenever I call, I am not talking from party point of view or interest. But I am saying what I see as the basic. Okay, let's assume the president. I don't know where my beard.
Let's not that anymore. This is how like that. Anything feel is have to spin. You can tell me governor is only passing at least about 8 people who Rivers State food. So I beg to differ on that one, please. I beg to differ.
What I'm trying to say is the man, it has been so obvious his performances ever since he assumed office. So like he said, what I will appeal to Rivers people is to give him the necessary support. I believe if we do so, Rivers State will be taken to a greater height. I am not saying this based on what I can gain. I don't care about it. But I know the man is working. This is not rocket science. The man is having results. As a result of what he is doing with his team. So let's keep it up. Let's put our hands on deck and ensure that Rivers State is taking. Lastly, Mr. Canada, you have contributed a lot to the development of River State by your developmental journalism. It has not gone unnoticed.
Okay.
I commend you. I applaud you.
But thank you. Your time is up. I've got to move on now. Bright from Roma to Maya. Bright, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you, Canada. Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you, Bright.
You know, the statement by the governor, thank God, is also in the church service.
No, yesterday was not. Yesterday was not a church service.
Like when they, hello.
Yesterday's was not a church, was not done in a church. It was a state banquet. It was done in the banquet hall of River State. So let's not get it twisted now, please.
Okay, it's all right. And me as a person, I want to let him know all those people he mentioned as the leaders, for me, does not have weight, just as when he talked about the other side.
Okay.
That was why the former governor refused to join them.
Okay.
That is number one. That number two. He praised Odili so much. Odili ended up as a River State governor. He did not succeed maybe to become a minister, unlike other governors like Amechi and Wike have done. Wike was one time a minister and also coordinating minister of education. He came from a super minister, which nobody in South and West have ever attended to, as in that position. So I believe those people is talking. No longer talking about the mandate of the youth of a River State. It's not few politicians, Odile, Osnopa, Biosekibo, and so on.
Okay.
If you ask me as a person in Canada, those people cannot match here and we the ex minister. Come 2027, you see what will happen.
All right.
Thank you. Worship Bright.
All right. Do you agree with Bright? The people mentioned as political heavyweights in River State will not be able to withstand the pressure of Yesamizimo Wike. But let's go here. Gift is calling from Yenigua. Gift, welcome. Happy New Year to you. I think we've spoken already, right? Welcome.
Happy New Year. Compliment of the season to my brother, Canada.
Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon to you.
Canada, the truth of the matter, all I heard from Mr. Governor, do you know what I heard from him?
You tell me.
Please pity me and help me out.
Your time is going on. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Please pity me and help me from this problem. That is what he was doing.
Okay.
Don't think it is bold talk or whatever. No. The people he lined up, let me ask you now, how many of them worked for him to become a governor? That should ring a bell in anyone's head. How many of these persons? Dr. Peter,
what about Mbata? Because I do believe Senator Mbata also played a major role. Are you saying he did not? Because when they were telling their stories, when you all were in the same camp.
These are the things that they are using to deceive themselves. Senator Mbata played which role for him to become a governor? Peter Odile only played a role by nominating the deputy governor, and that was given to him. That opportunity was given to him by that governor who has respect for him, which is Ezebonye Wiki. What did he do in the field or whatever? Nothing. Let me tell you, these guys that are with him, Celestine Omeya, all of them worked against him to see how PDP ticket should not get to him, and when he succeeded in getting the ticket, they worked tirelessly to see how PDP would disqualify him. Are you not aware?
Okay.
And you are lining up those people and telling me that these are the heavyweights. Without them, you became a governor. And now you are telling me they are heavyweights. It is a shame, this thing that is happening. I'm telling you, every time you will call people evil people. And when we want to talk, because of the rules of the game on air, it's as if that there's no way for us to use something.
Yeah, but no. I mean, gifts. I've always said, you can say a bad thing in a good way, and people will say, "Oh, they wouldn't even imagine it's a bad thing."
It is something I agree with you. That is why today now, that your rule is what I'm obeying
Okay,
now.
all right.
If not, I would have come heavy. Not heavy. If I come heavy, they will not buy him.
All right, gift. Your 2 minutes is up. Your 2 minutes have got to go. All right, thank you very much. I've got Confidence from Bori. Confidence, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon, Kalata.
Okay, welcome.
Yes, I want to talk about the UK introduction into the primary and secondary schools. Each time our leaders talk about things like this, I get disappointed in them.
Okay.
What are they trying to teach us again about history? They want to tell us again about how Nigeria was trying to struggle with Biafra, that has led to the people not being able to struggle to get to the position of presidency in this country. Is that what they are thinking of? So they want to remind us and the children that is coming on how the Ogonis, especially Ken Karuwa and their brothers, were killed because we want to collect the oil from Ogoni land.
So confidence. Are you saying it's a bad confidence? Are you saying it's a bad thing to look at your history? Is that what you're telling me right now?
They are trying to create no division. Children will get to know. The Igbos will get to know.
But don't you?
That is why they are being
confidence. What do you mean by? What do you mean by get to know?
Environment is being caused by the Nigerian state and share. And you see, anything will be created because let me tell you, Mr. Kalaba.
Sorry. Confidence. Hold on. You've been talking. So you're saying, as it is now, that they have not been teaching history since 2007, that things got better, and that in Ogoni land, shell became the best thing after sliced bread. Is that what you're telling me? Or you're telling me that in the southeast, things became better, and people all of a sudden forgot about the civil war? Is that what you're also telling me?
It is going to bring more division. Children coming out with people don't know that is how we have been maltreated in this past.
Okay, all right then. All right.
They should think of how to revive the economy. They should think of how to provide security.
Okay.
They should think of how to bring back agriculture, which has been the mainstay of the country.
All right.
They should think of how to bring electricity so that little businesses can begin to thrive. They should think of how to provide little industries that can provide jobs for the clean youth.
All right.
Not to remind us of our ugly past.
All right. I wonder if others will agree with you, but thank you, Confidence. Your time is up. I've got to make up from Elena Woy. Make her welcome. And make her what's on your mind.
Good evening.
Yeah, greetings to you.
The people you mentioned, they don't even have the weight.
Okay.
Compared to FCT minister.
Okay.
Those people failed. They are the ones that are against the nomination of Sim the last election, according to Gift. I'm a PDP member.
Okay.
They were in the camp of Atiku. They did everything. They failed. When Sim became the flag bearer of PDP, they were campaigning against him. At the end, they failed. Then the governor is relying on these people to deliver him. People that don't have political structure. No, that's which people. So let's name her. Who are they?
So you feel they don't have the weight, to carry.
See, let me tell you, she will lose 23 over 23. I'm a core member. And if it that happened, the way he won is the way he will lose.
All right.
This is Nigeria. I'm telling you the gospel truth. If you rely on those people that were against him, that were campaigning against him, and he won, see, if you ask him, how do you become governor? He will never tell you. Because we told him, go and sleep. He went and slept. The next day he was announced. We did the voting for him. You understand?
Right.
So, now you rely on these people that don't have weight. May God keep us alive 2037. You see, it's what will happen. Don't worry. Wait.
Let God keep us alive, you say. All right, final call for this hour. Joseph from Elimi, welcome. What is on your mind?
Yes, good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Joseph.
On history is not a bad subject.
Okay.
But depending on the reader, just as you could read the Bible and decide to be Nebuchadnezzar and also decide to be Jesus. So history is not a bad.
So it's how you interpret it, you say.
Yes, depending on how you interpret it.
All right.
Yeah, and then on labor, I think they have come to tell Nigerians that they are not fighting a just cause. They are not fighting for the common man interest. They are fighting for personal gain. On Governor Sim, he mentioned key priority area where he will center his focus this year 2025. I want to also suggest that he should put agriculture as one of the cardinal area where he should center his concentration.
Yeah. On the budget. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Thank you.
Oh my, I said I was listening and he cut the call. But thank you nonetheless, Joseph. I was going to say on the budget, agriculture is one of the key components. So maybe, just maybe, but also I think is major components of focus are the education sector and the health sector. But let's come here. And of course, he promised to commission projects come February. Let's see what those projects are, because we have been talking on the show. Is it a reflection of what happened in the last administration, where they were building or construction of roads and basically block and mortar? Is that what you guys call it? Yeah, I think so. So let's come here. This one says, Happy New Year, Chief K. I totally agree with Governor Fubara, provided there is still ink in the red pen and he is still in control of the red pen. It is like a symbol of authority and he will continue to use it to make Rivers people happy by giving good governance, while the enemies of the state will continue to be frustrated. Long live Governor Fubara, long live Rivers State. Finally, I support the call to reintroduce the teaching of history in our school curriculum from Hector. Let's come here. This one says, Sylvester from Jupiter. It's so unfortunate that Governor Fubara has made himself a god in our dear state. Who will decide who is the speaker and who is not the speaker? But I want him to know that it is just a matter of time who will know who is who in this state. Interesting. This one says, a violent free happy new year to you. The reintroduction of history in our schools is totally unnecessary. We don't have a good history as a country, and I feel introducing history to the current generation will further create division and dichotomy amongst us. For the governor's speech, no comments for now. Simply goodness from Malakaya. All right, thank you. Let's come here. This one says, afternoon, Canada. River State must move forward. Politics is alignment and realignment.
Your mistake is somebody's advantage. Anybody shouting on radio that the governor must represent the budgets to the former assembly members led by Martin Ameoli and his co-travelers should channel their energy to pushing the court to make their ruling and stop disrespecting the office of the governor with all those unwarranted threats. The governor is not the court and the defection martyr that has affected two parallel assembly members loyal to two gladiators. The governor, in his magnanimity, has presented the budget to the divide he believes is the real assembly. So chill and wait for the court to make their ruling. Calvin Yobo Frank. But you're asking me to chill, but you started by calling one faction former assembly members. Think about it. This one says, why did you allow people to call the governor arrogant or keep on insulting him on your station? Steve from Port Harcourt is asking. I don't think anybody called anybody arrogant, but if I remember, it was a conversation with Chima, and he said the governor's speech was arrogant. He didn't say the governor was arrogant, if I understood very well. And then the second time he said, okay, the one he did, what's it called now? Crossover service, the speech was arrogant, and he said this one now is, what did he, I can't remember the other word he used. Okay, he said hatred. He used hatred. And I asked him, is it not political strategy anymore? So, I mean, think about it. Well, this one says, good day, Mr. K. Batibo. Federal government reintroduces history in our basic school curriculum. This is a step in the right direction because history made us to know our past events. Enemy's plan will continue to crash, says Fubara Governor. Fubara means well for River State. Any individual or group of individuals.
The show continues after